And it might win an Oscar. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Today we're talking about Nomadland, new movie on Hulu, and a film that most recently won a Golden Globe for Best Picture. Gotta start off by saying Frances McDormand is the only person I could see in this role. They did a phenomenal job casting her. She has very few lines in the beginning of this movie, which is actually a really, really great decision because it lets a lot of the actors around her establish the universe that she is living in. McDormand's character in the movie, Fern, seems to be driven by the unknown. She's a woman in her 60s who basically loses everything in the Great Recession and decides to just embark on a journey through the American West, living in a van and going through life as a modern-day nomad. Throughout the film, you really get a feel for the fact that Fern has no intention on settling down, and I got the inkling that she feels a lot more sense of purpose in the journey, not so much the destination. The vibe of this movie felt really similar to films like Bob and the Trees or Nebraska, movies that really have this quiet sense of purpose as they go along. As far as the good, the film is beautifully shot. I mean, a lot of this movie looks really, really good. They did a phenomenal job with the cinematography and the camera direction that they chose to go with this movie. A lot of the film flows naturally. The dialogue feels incredibly authentic, very, very raw and natural. Seems like at some points they might have been improvising. I don't know how much of the film is improvised, but it definitely gave off the vibe that they let the actors kind of have a lot of freedom with what they were saying and just set a scene and said, go ahead, go be natural as you go through this. Felt like they did a really good job depicting this community of nomads, and they were all depicted in a very respectful and caring way, and I appreciated that. It seemed like a lot of thought and effort went into how they were going to tell this story, and it really, really comes across in the film. I don't have a whole lot of bad things to say about this movie, but I think something that I saw in some other reviews that a lot of people felt the film was very boring, and I'm not here to dispute that. Not that much happens in this movie, so if you're someone that constantly needs stimulation and crazy things happening and twists and all this insanity happening throughout a movie, this might not be for you. It's a great film, but there's not a whole lot that happens, so I totally understand the argument that this movie is boring. I didn't think it was boring. I enjoyed it, but I can understand why you might feel that way. The film also doesn't tell you that much, doesn't hold your hand. It's not necessarily giving a huge explanation into Fern, why she does the things she does, or what's motivating her. It just sort of leaves it up to you to decide whether or not you agree or disagree, or even like Fern as a character. At some point she can be frustrating. I appreciate it when films present you with a story and let you decide whether or not you agree with what's happening. I think giving the audience that level of freedom in how they interpret a film is really, really great thing to do. Nomadland is an absolutely beautiful film, well worth it if you're someone who just enjoys sort of fly on the wall experience as you go through this story with Fern and everybody else in the community. I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot. It was beautiful setting and getting to see so much of the scenery in this world. Fantastic time. I enjoyed it. If you don't like boring movies, probably don't watch it, but if you don't mind stepping outside of your comfort zone, definitely recommend giving Nomadland a watch. And it might win an Oscar. I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Nomadland is out now on Hulu. Definitely give it a watch. That's all I got for you guys today. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a thumbs up, subscribing. I make reviews like this every week. That's all I got for you guys today. I'm out.